Hello, this is Krystal, and thank you for joining me for this week's First Chapter Friday. Today I will be reading from the beginning of The Librarian of Crooked Lane by C.J. Archer. This is the first book in her The Glass Library series, and you can check it out on Libby. Chapter 1. London, Spring of 1920. The woman crouching under the desk near my feet expelled an unladylike snort of derision. I stilled. I didn't dare urge her to keep quiet with the nudge of my boot, for fear that Mr. Parmiter, the head librarian, would notice. At the sound of the snort, he turned back and scrutinized me yet again. He had a way of making me feel like a speck under a microscope. Moments ago, he'd pressed both palms on the desk, leaned in until his face was close to mine, and inspected me with all the vigor of a detective searching for evidence at a crime scene. Indeed, Mr. Parmiter's initial scrutiny had come about because he did suspect me of a crime. The crime of wearing makeup. According to the library charter, which I'd never seen, female staff were forbidden from adding so much as a smudge of color to their cheeks. Although I was sure the rule never existed since I was the first female employee, I didn't question him. I simply informed him I was not wearing makeup. He'd sniffed, as if trying to smell a lie, then turned away. Until Daisy had gone and snorted like a bull out of red rag. Mr. Parmiter scrutinized me again, but this time he stood a foot back from the desk. Are you unwell, Miss Ashe? No, I said. I was just clearing my throat. Those beady eyes of his narrowed further. He moistened his lips with a lizard-like flicker of his tongue, dampening the overhanging gray mustache. I wouldn't have been surprised if he reached across the desk to touch my forehead, checking for a fever. But the fear of getting too close held him back. I couldn't blame him for that. The Spanish flu had recently wreaked devastation, and we all worried it would return. You should go home if you feel unwell, he said. I feel fine. He waved a hand at my face. And remove that vile stuff. This is a respectable institution where gentlemen of learning come for quiet study. Attractive women are a distraction. If it were up to me, I wouldn't have employed someone like you, but needs must. This last sentence he muttered as he walked off. Thankfully, Daisy didn't emit another snort. She was probably too shocked and angry to speak. I was just as angry, but not shocked. In the 2 months since I'd taken the position of assistant librarian at the London Philosophical Society's library, I'd been exposed to Mr. Parmiter's misogyny on a regular basis. He blamed young women for just about every ill that had ever befallen him, or the world in general. I'm sure he could find a way to blame us for the war if he put his mind to it. It's safe, I whispered. Daisy crawled out from the desk's footwell and cast a disdainful look in the direction in which Mr. Parmiter had departed. She hadn't seen him leave. It was the only exit from the reading nook. I was using the empty desk to inspect some old books for signs of disrepair. Tucked away on the first floor, between the stacks, it was the perfect place for quiet research, or hiding from one's manager while chatting to a friend who shouldn't be in the library at all. Daisy was not a member of the London Philosophical Society. She wasn't at all philosophical, not even after drinking too many cocktails. A drunk Daisy was a giggling Daisy, not terribly unlike a sober Daisy. But she wasn't giggling now, as she perched herself on the edge of the desk and regarded me with a frown. What did he mean when he said he wouldn't have employed someone like you, but needs must? And if you would like to check this book out, it is available right now on Libby. Please join me here next week as I read from The Pale Blue Eye by Louis Bayard. Thanks and have a great week.